I don't think men can have abortions as much as women if we were able to get pregnant.
It depends on how we could have
You would
them.
annihilate the whole population.
If you guys were able to get pregnant,
We probably would
you
because
guys
we
will
don't trust
have
y'all. bitch.
several
We
abortions.
don't trust y'all.
You dirty rats.
You would annihilate the whole population.
Yeah.
Yo,
You guys would be absolutely disgusting.
Yo, if we could have babies
we
though,
would not
I guarantee you our babies would be better raised.
No,
I swear to
don't.
God.
Dude, we would.
You know how what like single dads would be like, nah, I definitely, I let the single mom come through. Single moms be like, fuck that nigga. Nah, he cheated on you. Yeah, don't ever let. I swear to God, this shit blew my high. I gotta talk about this, right? Hot 97. They had the gurus, I think, right? The little guru segment. Shout out to Hot 97, Nebro, in the morning, all y'all, whatever.
Yay.
They had somebody call in or send an email about a situation where this girl was dating this guy for, I think, like a couple years, and she got pregnant. They were dating, but they weren't in a relationship. So they were sleeping around. And she got pregnant and they were older. He already had a kid that was like 14 or something, and she had a kid around the same age. Mm-hmm. And he was already telling her that he didn't want to do any kids at this time in his life. So then throughout her pregnancy, he's been inconsistent. He has like, he'll pop in, but then he won't play the role. He won't go to the doctor's appointments, but then he'll ask how the doctor appointment went. And so what her question was at the end was, should she tell him when the baby is due? Should she invite him to the labor of the child because she doesn't want him there because of his inconsistency? She'd rather just have her daughter there. And for me, I was like, what is wrong with you? I don't even know. But the thing for me was like, why, if he's being inconsistent, why would you even I had a couple different things to say. I actually tried to call them niggas like, yo, like, come on, bro. Like, I need to tell y'all. But if he's being inconsistent,
Why have the baby?
no, why not just tell him? And you should probably expect him not to be there, right? One, if you're basing it off his patterns. Two, even if, and I speak on a more, this topic is more sensitive because I feel like that kind of was like my situation. I wasn't inconsistent, but me and my girl were not seeing eye to eye throughout her pregnancy. And because of that, but that didn't stop me from being there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And when I was there, that kind of made everything click for me. You know what I'm saying? It helped me put everything into perspective. So I'm not saying that will be his story, but I feel like a lot of men don't get it until they have their baby in their arms. We don't feel your pregnancy. We don't feel you carrying. We don't feel the baby kicking. We don't feel the baby moving. All we do is visualize what might be in your stomach. And then when the baby comes out, that's when we can actually feel what you felt throughout your pregnancy. That's just what it is. So and then on top of that, you're going to create a battle that is only one that's going to suffer is that baby. Because even though this man is inconsistent in being at your doctor's appointment, and although he is 100% wrong, but if you just have the baby sneakily, and then this man could grow a type of bitterness to you that will be unforgivable. And now the only thing that's going to suffer is the baby because you wanted to put your feelings involved in your pregnancy. I think we got to stop taking the pregnancy as a personal thing. Men too, because the only one that's going to suffer is what comes out of it. And that's like the thing that I just can't fathom when women do that and they go through these extreme emotions because they're pregnant and they make these extreme decisions. And I do know that your hormones might not be, regulated because of all the different things that are going on in your body, but still it does not make it okay for you to just go out and randomly get an abortion because you found out your spouse cheated on you. It doesn't make sense that you don't like what's happening within your relationship, so you just try to rob the man of the moment of his child being birthed. That's not a proper solution for anybody or conducive for the future of your co-parenting potentially or the child's life. That's just my take.
I agree. I feel like it's like a power play. I feel like it's a power play that women use because they're carrying the baby. I this is just my opinion. Like, I feel like some women are like, I'm the one carrying, and you're right, you are the one carrying the baby, but that doesn't mean the baby's not leverage.
Can you say that again?
Well, the baby should not be leveraged. That's not its purpose.
You trying to say it's our fault?
It is.
It's my fault. I got a daughter.
No way, but that's how they used to. No, but that's how they used to treat women, though.
They used to, but like
They used to toss
don't
women to the
determine.
side if they didn't give you a son.
You have two X chromosomes.
Because technically my son was there, but your body killed him and allowed the woman in.
Boy, if you don't sit down.
My son, I didn't just have all X chromosomes. Like, there was a mix. Yo, you control the only thing. I'm not going to say the only thing. I can't speak for all men. But a woman that has their baby, has a man's child, and is in full custody of a man's child, you hold the thing that is most precious to that man that actually cares about being in his child's life.
That's why these parents be in and out of the courtroom, because let me snatch all that power you think you have.
Have you been to court?
She doesn't even have a kid.
What? I don't have a kid, but
Thank you.
I'm just saying the petty arguments between parents and trying to get custody, and she won't allow me to do this.
It's not.
And getting to court for every little thing.
It's not a petty argument if that is half your child. Like, that's your child. Nothing is petty. The arguments aren't petty. It's what the actions that you do that make it petty. Because if you can lay down and have my child, then I should be entitled to pick up my child and see my child and do what I'm supposed to do for my child. Period.
Okay, so nothing about your child is a petty argument.
It shouldn't be.
The boyfriend of 6 months shouldn't be around your child. Is that not a petty argument? To me, that shit seems petty as fuck to me.
First of all, when you bring other people around your child, I have to trust the fact that you have some goddamn sense, and you're making a wise decision for the welfare of our child. I don't get to tell you who you can and can't bring around my child. I can't. I'll never have that power.
You know how many times that we've heard over and over and over again, and I hate to say it, and I think about this, because I have a daughter. How many times that we've heard stories, countless stories of stepfathers doing things to the stepdaughters?
Or the boyfriend.
Or the boyfriend.
Or the stepsons.
Or the
Let's keep it real,
stepson.
period.
And it's like, and they do it not only to girls, they do it to boys too.
Mm-hmm.
And so me arguing about your 6-month boyfriend being around my child will never be petty. Because guess what? And I had this conversation
Don't be adding shit.
I had this
Why you gotta add to it?
I had this conversation with my girl too. Like, no offense, like she left. Well, I don't want to say she left, but in her church, they take the toddlers to a different room. And I was like, don't you ever allow my daughter to go to a different room with no one. I don't care if it's your deacon, your pastor, your sister, your nun. I don't care who it is. Don't ever put my daughter in position that's out of your sight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because guess what? All it takes is one situation that you can't undo for my daughter.
Facts.
You can't undo for my child. So I'm not playing that game. There's not a petty argument. It's not, whether it's 6 months of your dating, whether it's your uncle that you wanted to just leave around. And don't ever put my child in a position where harm could be done and you can't be there to stop it or regulate or not stop it, but prevent it. I'm not playing that game. And I understand what he's saying. I'm not in that position right now, right? And I hope I'm not. But if I was in that position and my girl was trying to, or my ex is trying to tell me that it doesn't matter who she brings around my child, yes, the fuck it does.
That's a losing argument because there's nothing you can do about it.
I think that's what creates the resentment and the conflict.
The resentment was there before because obviously if you guys have a child together and you're not together, there was already some type of resentment that kept y'all apart.
Mm.
So I think the piece of having a child, not the piece, but like using the child as like, women use a child as a pawn, if we could be honest. Like, women use children as a pawn. It's fucking terrible. And it should stop. That's all I'll say about that.
You know what? Okay, I've just been in the middle of a lot of custody issues when I was a clinician in terms of doing like custody cases. Both people will often use the kids, and they'll spend hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars going back and forth in terms of custody, and getting like the psychologist and everybody involved to be like, I'm the better parent. I'm the better parent. This is da-da-da-da. Both people will often, depending socioeconomically, use the kids as a pawn.
I don't
Not
agree.
just the women.
I don't agree.
Well, I mean, if you say like, has it happened on both sides? Yes, but we're talking about
That's what I've seen in terms of the work that I've done.
I don't think a man can. I don't think a man's in a position to use their child as a pawn. I think at that point he's fighting for his rights. So he doesn't have. There's no power in making the child a pawn.
No, I've
You
seen
just want what's yours and what you're entitled to. So it's not like I own something or like I have 100% custody where I can say now I'm taking that back. I'm literally fighting to have my custody.
I've seen a man has a husband has he's in no position, and he was financially extremely well off.
A husband.
Yeah, no.
So we're talking about marriage. We're not talking about.
No. They actually weren't even married.
Okay.
But he was extremely well off and financially in a much superior position.
Mm-hmm.
But he worked so many hours, no position to actually spend time with the kids, raise the kids, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing kind of like what's best for the kid. This is what I'm thinking about. And I'm like, well, who's gonna watch? He's like, I have people to watch the kids. So why wouldn't you want the children with the mom? It's like because
He might know something again because he
believe me,
he might know. Okay, each case
he's
is different.
in a position to tell me the worst about her so that
course.
he wins the case.
Yes, but he also knows the worst about her.
No, I know. So he's I'm telling you, he's in a position. So tell me, why should you get full custody? I want to know, like, why you're not in a position to actually spend quality time with these kids. So, like, what is it? Tell me, because I want to know.
But why can't he make an adjustment? Like, why do we think that men can't find? Like, okay, she's gonna have to go to work too.
But I'm just telling you.
And if he's wealthy, why doesn't he has his wealth?
I have the ability to stop work and be okay.
He didn't. He wasn't going to stop working.
All right, but I'm saying,
Situation.
but he has the ability to. If he's well off,
I'm just telling you, people are people. This is the point I was trying to make. He was very resentful of how she went about getting money from him. Like he was like very resentful about it. And so he was like, I'm going to show you, don't ever play with me. And he was so blindsided by that it impacted his decision making. Ultimately, I'm just trying to say, whether you're a man or a woman, ultimately we're people at the end of the day. So sometimes some of the way you go about it is going to be skewed. So it's not just women who may use children.
Yeah, we're not saying just, we're saying majority. And that's a different type of case. Because that's a man who got money. And he had money to even fight that fight.
Word.
A lot of men don't even have the funds to fight that fight. I know a person who became a stripper to actually fund him winning the custody of his daughter.
A male stripper?
A male stripper. He became a male stripper just to win the custody of his daughter.
Win?
Was he a good
He
stripper?
won. It took him 5 years. It took him, but like what I'm saying is like, when I heard the story, I'm like,
did he make good money?
I mean, you had to, because you got to think about how much money it costs to win a custody battle over a woman.
A lot of money.
And then we sit here, and I'm not gonna lie, Marie, I don't like that, because we sit here and we try to make it seem as if the odds of the scenario is equal, and it's not.
It never is.
It never was.
Like you were able to use his money. The fact that she was with him, he probably had money before she got with him, and that probably could have been the play the whole time.
Could have been.
So he might. I don't know the situation, but
anyway,
it's never that
I was
situation.
still unbiased.
Rarely ever. Yeah.
Rarely ever, not never. Sorry.
And then you get a situation like Enough.
With Jennifer Lopez?
When niggas start hunting you down.